Now that's a lot of cav. That's a whole heck of a lot of cav. Alright, so we're last left off with this sieging of the Spanish at southern Italy, and that's where we're picking up, and they have a massive cav force. And if you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're informed of more in the future. And don't forget to hit that like button. It does help the channel, and we will appreciate seeing you for more content in the future. Going to their first square. Already routing. He might... Oh no, he's shattered. Alright, so once again, if you're picking up on this series for the first time, this is my Prussia, or How Prussia Conquered the World series. And we are at the year 1722. There we go. And things are progressing quite nicely. Come on. That's what you get for staying around. I can't even think of anything smart or clever to say on this. We're just going to do this thing. Since there's so much cav, we're going to form squares on the flanks. And we're going to use our two cavalry cav units over here on the left wing to start smashing through and breaking that wing. And then we'll just use our cav to crush through the infantry. And as you can see, it's working out pretty well. We're going to go ahead and move our lines forward, where our cav is causing such a disruption, and we're going to go shoot that disruption up as we pull our cav through. Get them to safety, hopefully. Working like a charm, working like a charm. It's all going according to plan here. Looks like they've had their fill. That worked out perfectly.
Schlachtlinie bilden! Truppen, vorwärts!
It's time to put the paint on the Genossians. Alright, so we take up the high ground over here, and they have taken the town, and they have sent their cav forward. Why would they do such a thing? Oh well. Well, we're going to go ahead and march towards the town, and we're going to try and set up a 90-degree angle on them, but they have something on the flank, so we're going to have to fall back a little bit while we bring our artillery forward. And they are crunched up in there pretty tight, which means nice compact targets for our lines to volley into. Now, I do get my artillery set up, and really it's just because I want to see them shoot into this mess. I mean, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. And that's pretty much about all the action my artillery got in that one, but it was well worth it to me. So they make this last stand at the church. It doesn't really go the way I think they planned on it. Maybe they should have hid in the church praying, but they didn't. And it's all over for them. Oh my god, I just killed my general, but we won the battle. Ugh. Well, sure. Why not? Oh, France bites the dust. Bavaria has gotten quite strong. It's kind of scary. I expect to be at war with them pretty soon. Oops, this is going to be a big battle. Roughly, I got about, what, 900 and something men to their 2,600. Oof. It's going to be a big one. Okay, so it looks like we're in for one doozy of a battle. As you can see, my reinforcing army has come in, and I'm trying to regroup my armies together. And I'm going to have to take on this massive cav onslaught again from the Spanish. So, I have formed up square on my left wing, and I've taken the brunt of the charge on the right wing. And I formed square with the wrong unit, but I am forming up to start volleying into that unit of cav that hit me on that right wing. And I've got square formed up here on the left wing, and using my other line to shoot into this massive horde of cav. And that square is held down by a very experienced unit. You can see it is pandemonium here. And that unit is going to hold in for quite some time for me to bring the rest of my right wing over to assist with my now center of my body, and we will be able to crush this first assault by the Spanish. And now prepare for the second. As you can see, I've squared up with this former right wing, and we're going to just try to shoot that down and try to get repositioned. I'm going to form up and do a counter charge so my lines can get repositioned, and then I'll pull my cav out so we can force them into my volleys of my lines. At least that's the plan. It seems to be working. So we have taken care of these first two waves of the Spanish cav, so that gives me time to get my two armies combined and set up for the next assault. And you can see there is quite a bit of cav still coming in, and we are going to be knocking out this next wave here pretty easy. But oh no, it's not over with. They still have a tremendous amount of cav left. As you can see, there are 6 units and 2 more in the center coming up. So yeah, we're gonna have to fend off a whole lot more cav, and that's not even the last of them. We've got 2 more knocked out there, and I am opening up my artillery, getting a few hits on them over here on this push forward. And my left wing, I'm just going to set up a defensive perimeter using 1 unit as a square to hold them as I volley in. And you can see they're attacking the center here, trying to go for the artillery, and luckily micro shooting with the artillery does help to knock them out. Also, the line volleys, provided some help in there too. You see the Genosians in the back are still lumbering forward, and there's still quite a bit of Spanish cav here to deal with. Oh my goodness, it is quite something. But I think we've almost got them knocked out. I will be all too pleased to be done with this cav assault, let me tell you. So, now with that threat unraveled, we can now focus on the infantry assault. And of course the Spanish are going to lead the charge. The brave Spanish. The Genosians, not so much. They are still lumbering forward. And you can see I am folding over my left wing to wrap, as their other portion of their army is still lumbering forward. And they have a cav over here on the flank, but it's not attacking, so I'm going to keep my lines volleying so that I'm not putting myself in square, because you can see I'm outnumbered 3 lines to 4. So on that right wing anyway, I'm not sure what that cav is going to do. I could counter with my cav, but I decided to hold it. And you can see this first wave is being cut down pretty easily. Now on my left wing, I do come into a little bit of trouble. I form up square because I got hit with the Genosian cav with my extreme, and I'm going to set up a fallback pattern of 2 sets of double lines, and that's going to hopefully help me to get my line out of there. As you can see, I am being assaulted here quite rapidly, and this does mean some friendly fire, but it does mean a lot more casualties for the Genosians as they push into my formations here. And I got my artillery also tearing up their center as you can see, hitting them right there. Now, that cav unit has hit my right wing, and it's going to push through, and it's going to cause me some trouble here in the center. As you can see, now my center force is forced into square, and yes, that is luckily that and not my artillery. As you can see, it's starting to come back, but it doesn't look like it's going to push into my artillery. I do get some nice shots there straight through them with the shrapnel shot. Some of them are too close, so they don't do as much damage to the cav, but they do seem to do quite a bit to that infantry. So my left body is starting to become more stable at this point in the battle. Now, my right wing, which was outnumbered, did fend off the Genosians and has now claimed pretty much the victory on that side. They're just wrapping up at this point. Now it's time to go ahead and countercharge and take the offensive to them as they are whittling down. And the cav charge is going to give me ability to reform. As you can see, more lines coming in. I volleyed, so I'm going to reform and put myself in a better position to take down their units one at a time. And I'm just going to push my cav through and hit them, taking out their artillery, hopefully. So, now my right wing is totally destroyed the Genosians. We're just going to push forward and attack over there. And I've got them split into two armies at this point. And their left wing is completely destroyed. So now they are one much smaller army at this point. And I have pretty much knocked out their artillery at this point, and it's a done deal. The battle is ours. Oh man. Oh man. The Spanish, they're as bad as the Genoans, who are as bad as the Austrians were. Oh my gosh. Well, now we can just cakewalk in here. Hold that for a second.
Wie Ratten im Käfig. Sie verstecken sich hinter ihren Weibern.
Okay, so first things first, let's deal with this.
Wir triumphieren. Schlachtlinie bilden.
That's done. Now,
Sie verstecken sich hinter
deal
ihren
with
Weibern.
this. Ooh, wait.
Siedlungen
We'll
belagert.
hold on to that. I guess they really want to do this. So let's do this. So at this point, I'm pretty well tired of dealing with Spanish cav, let me tell you. But we're almost through it. We are almost through it. And we have pretty much destroyed all of their cav at this point. Just wrapping up. Just wrapping up. And their infantry will be no problemo for us to deal with. This actually went quite smoothly, I must say. Shouldn't have hit my own cav in the back there, but whatever. Alright. I said their infantry will be no problem. We are going to cut through them like hot butter or butter with the hot knife, or however the hell that saying goes. Anyways, they're like a target practice for me at this point. And this will pretty much end the Spanish presence in the Italian peninsula. Thank goodness for that. Because I am tired of dealing with them, let me promise you. And like that, Spain should be out of, well, almost out of, ugh, gotta be kidding me. Auto-resolve.
Wir triumphieren.
Ugh,
Erwarten Befehle.
they just don't want to go away. So auto-resolving doesn't always pay off, dagnabbit. I don't know why I was able to keep these guys, but whatever. Alright. So, we're going to have to take this back.
Belagerung wird fortgesetzt.
Might try to... Okay, now let's go ahead and do this. Finally. And there it is, Bavaria declaring war. Let's see what Savoy decides. They decide to stay out of it wisely. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and leave it off here with the Bavarian conflict on the next episode. We've made it up to 1727 now. And we got pretty much the Italian peninsula under control, just a couple rebel factions we will easily be able to deal with. Now, the Bavarians, on the other hand, have a pretty large force. So if you like this content, please don't forget to subscribe so you can catch us for the next episode. And don't forget to give us a like on this video either.